to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah! Welcome to Drinkin Bros. We got a bonus episode this week. Why, D'Anthony? Because the NFL playoffs are upon us. This is wild card weekend. We thought we'd bring in a heavy hitter. He was with you guys last time. I was in the hospital, unfortunately, but I'm here today. We got Brian Urlacher. What's up, Bri Guy? How are you?
Not much. Just hanging out. Looking forward to talking some football.
Yeah, I know. Let's start off at the top. Obviously, you're one of the greatest Bears of all time. You're in the Hall of Fame.
Bears football players.
Well, I say actual physical Bears.
Well, Yogi was pretty good.
Don't insult the Bears. Don't insult the Bear. Come on now.
Yogi was pretty good. And then all those gay dudes.
But if he was a gay man, then it's like, hey, that's the Bear.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, that would be perfect.
You don't know that.
Don't identify me.
You're assuming.
The perfect modern football player would be a gay, like a hairy gay offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So much comedy can come from that situation.
Tons. Kevin James would play him in a Netflix special.
No, he'd have to lose 40 pounds to play an offensive lineman.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't at all. He's playing Sean Payton.
I know, because he does the opposite of method.
Yeah,
right. Like he becomes more Kevin James when he plays a role.
Yeah. Keeps doing blackface for roles that are exclusively white people.
Exactly. But again, as being one of the greatest Bears football players of all time, your coach got fired. He's gone.
Yeah, man.
Matt Nagy was gone. What's your opinion of him as a coach, and are you happy or sad that he's gone?
So I didn't play for Matt, but I know him as a person. I like Matt Nagy. It's just in a tough position with the Bears. You look at I'm gonna go back to this. Since they fired Jerry Angelo in 2011, who was our GM for I think my last 11 years or my last 10 years, whatever it was. They fired Jerry, hired this dipshit Phil Emery for 2 years, and then Emery fires Lovey after his first year. After the Bears, we go 10-6, miss the playoffs, but we win 10 games, and then Minnesota beats Green Bay the last game of the year, knocked us out of the playoffs, and they fire Lovey. And since they fired Lovey, they've been shit. I mean, I don't know if you can blame it on the coaches because they had Trestman, who Emery hired, then they both got fired. Then they hired Coach Fox, who I have a lot of respect for, and then they Coach Nagy. So I don't know if it's a player. They got great players. I mean, you look at their roster, they seem to have great players. I don't understand. And Nagy went to the playoffs 2 out of 4 seasons. So I just don't know what they expect of him. You know, this year was tough. You know, you got a rookie quarterback. It's going to be tough unless you're Patriots with Mac Jones. So it's just I like Nagy. I hate that all the people always blame the coaches. When the fuck are the players going to be held accountable?
Yeah,
the coaches can only do so much, man. It drives me crazy.
But you look at the situation that Nagy was put into with the quarterbacks, right? How do you think he handled that? Because a lot of people were pissed off that he kept flip-flopping Andy Dalton in for Justin Fields and then back and forth. There was also a ton of injuries on that team. You lost your running back who was a stud, and he was out for a while. What do you do in that situation?
Well, everyone has injuries, though. That's no excuse. And I think most of the players, I hope they'd say that. There's not an excuse. But, you know, the quarterback situation, I think the young kid was starting unless he was hurt after the first couple of games when they started Andy. And then, so here's their record. The Bears are 4-3 when anybody but Fields starts. So they have a winning record when anyone but besides the rookie starts. So they can win football games. It is possible. I think they were 2-8 when he started. Not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying they're capable of winning games. I mean, a lot of people also say that, you know, it's the organization that makes them, you know, when you get a first round pick, they want him to play. You know, they drafted him, they give up some draft picks for him, they want him to play. So who the hell knows? Like I said, I like Matt Nagy. I think he does a good job. He's kind of handcuffed there with what he could do with the personnel he had.
So who do you go to next? Jim Harbaugh's name has been tossed around a lot in the last week. I'm not so sure he's going to leave Michigan. His name pops up, it seems like, after every Black Monday.
Yeah, but this one's different because all the NFL insiders say he's reaching out to coordinators to vet them for a new process. He's talking to, my guess is he's talking to multiple NFL teams and trying to make a decision based on the available coordinators and the position at that team, which one he's going to choose. It seems like he's leaving.
I don't know. If that was the case and he did go to Chicago, how would you feel about the hire of Jim Harbaugh?
I like Jim Harbaugh. He did well at San Francisco. He did well in college. You know, he's won everywhere he's been as a head coach. So, I mean, I think at this point you kind of have to make a splash with who you hire. You know, you look at the besides Coach Fox, the last three hires, I don't know what his resume was. Fox was a pretty big name, and then Coach Nagy was a coordinator coming into Chicago. So I think you have to hire someone with a pretty big name at this point, and the problem is they're gonna have to spend some money on the head coach. And as a former player and fan, I understand that the Bears don't like to spend money when they don't have to. So we'll see how that goes.
Why is that? The city of Chicago has one of the best fan bases there is for a team that's so beloved, and it's a big market city. Like, they have the advantage over somebody like a Jacksonville, where they spend a ton of money on Urban Meyer. Why not put that money into your own coaching staff?
It's not only is it a big TV market, but they're thinking about it from traveling, merchandising, and all this other stuff. The Cubs, Bears, Bulls are a global brand as well, right?
Yeah, Russia.
I mean, it's like the Atlanta Braves or the Cowboys or something like that. There's no reason they should be skimping on spending money. Right?
So why do they, Brian?
So the only thing I can think of is because it's a family-run organization. It's their business. It's what they do. It's not like, Jerry Jones is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to play. I want to win. And I'm not sure that's the mentality in Chicago. I think if they can get by with spending less and getting less, then I think they will do that. And they've done that, throughout, that's just what they do. That's what they've done throughout their history. They don't like spending money, especially when they don't have to. So, Jerry Jones spends money like he didn't give a shit. Daniel Snyder, same way. They haven't won in Washington, but they throw money around pretty freely. And the Bears just don't do that. They started to do it more now with players because they have to, because you have to spend all the cap money. But it hasn't really been so much so for the coaches.
What do you think they do with their first round pick next year? What's the most glaring weakness that the Bears have?
I don't know if they have a first round pick. I think
Really?
they traded them all. I don't know.
No shit.
I feel like they've traded. They traded 2 or 3 for Khalil, and I don't know if they may have traded a couple for Mitch as well. I'm not sure if they have one. If they do, I just feel like they got to get more explosive on offense. They maybe a big play tight end. I should have started up front. I should have started with the O-line. Because I don't watch the Bears play that much anymore, because here in Arizona we don't get a lot of their games. And I'm not going to tune in just to watch them play. So we don't get a lot of their games out here. But I know if you have a good offensive defensive line, you got a pretty good chance to compete in the NFL. So I would start there, or a big play receiver, or a tight end, because they don't really have a.
Well, they definitely do not have a first-round draft pick. Probably
they do not.
Probably,
like for 4 years, right?
It's something weird. It's like reverse Dolphins, basically.
And the Rams are even worse. The Rams have like 0 for the next 8 years.
But the Rams got quite a bit of value out of theirs. I don't know if that value.
So did the Bears. The Bears got Khalil. So I could not believe the Raiders traded Khalil Mack to the Bears for just two first-round picks.
I know.
What the fuck? That's to me. If you could get a player like Khalil Mack, you would trade 4 first-round picks for him.
Yeah.
You can't trade enough because you don't know what you get with the first-round pick.
Yeah, that's
it's a crapshoot.
We talked about that last time you were on the show. John Gruden should have been fired for his decisions way before any of these emails came out. Right? not for the emails, but for that stupid shit. Yeah. If you've got Khalil Mack, I don't care what your fucking vision is. If you don't have a vision that can include a guy of that talent level, then you're just not going to make it in life.
Amari Cooper as well. They got rid of Coop.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That team would have been stacked. And look, they're in the playoffs. We'll talk about them shortly. One of the other things I wanted to ask you about before we get into some of these wild card picks is the decision to call that timeout. Did you watch the Sunday night game?
Oh, man, I was into that game. That was exciting as hell.
Same. And I think we were all invested in the same thing. We wanted to see a knee. We wanted to see a tie. Yes. It's the only time in my life I've wanted to see a tie, including soccer. I wanted to see a tie. I could not believe that coach called a timeout with 28 seconds left. You could see the players in the replays afterwards going up to each other going, hey, was your coach going to call?
You taking a knee?
Would you? And they were like, yeah, we were prepared to take a tie. If you were playing and your coach did that, how would you react?
I would play better defense and not give the guy 8 yards on the carry. That's what I would do. So if you don't like what happens, and I don't agree with the timeout at all, but as a defensive player, as a guy, they were close to fringe field goal range, right? Before the play was ran. They would have been like a 50-something yard field goal.
It was long, about 57,
It's still makeable, but you probably don't want to attempt it in that situation because if it gets blocked, they return it. You don't go to the playoffs. So I don't mind the timeout. I mind that the player, if they're going to bitch or if you have a problem with it on defense, make a fucking play and tackle them behind the line of scrimmage because you had a 9-man box that you knew they were going to run the football. So make a play. They had guys in the backfield. So that's just the way I look at it. If you don't like it, make a play, make it a 60-yard field goal, and they probably don't attempt it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It seemed to me like they were caught off guard. It's almost of like, oh, you guys are actually going to do this. I thought you were going to run out the clock. The defense seemed confused to me.
But they had to snap the ball. There was 4 seconds left on the play clock, so they had, and there's like 28 seconds on the game clock. So there had to be another play either way, whether they took a knee or not. But I don't understand the timeout unless you're going to put 11 guys at the line of scrimmage. I don't understand why you take a timeout because they're probably not going to throw the football. And if they throw it, you know what? But you beat us. You got a good call on because we're going to put. I would stack the box and say, all right, if you can run it with 11 guys in the box. Shit, more power to it. You did a good job.
Yeah, that call rivaled like 4 calls that Mike McCarthy made this year. That's the dumbest shit I've seen on the field this year so far.
So, I love the Cowboys and I love Mike McCarthy. Sometimes on 4th down, I get so pissed off.
Dude, I fucking said, what was it, last week? I was like, why don't the Cowboys just hire a guy and your job is to manage the clock and let Mike McCarthy do something else? like seriously, just pay a guy $100,000 a year and your only job is to understand clock management.
Just
and
watch the clock.
Yeah, like no
analytics,
shit.
The analytics guys, I think the Ravens have a guy who tells Harbaugh is like, okay, the odds are in our favor here. Go for it on 4th down or something like that. Or I'm not sure. Harbaugh makes all the decisions, but I think there's some guys like that on some certain staff that tell you what the odds are in your favor.
Well, the best decisions are made with the most amount of data, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Except for
I like the ones where they're – go ahead.
No, except for going for 2 in the last 2 games there. I don't understand that at all. He was going for the win. Why go for the win? Just go to overtime. I don't understand those 2 calls.
I like going for the win, man. I think it's awesome. You're basically saying, I don't trust my defense to stop you in overtime, so I'm going to go for the win right now.
I love that as a defensive guy, you said that. You said, yeah, fuck the defense. Just go for it.
Yeah, go for the win. We can't stop them in overtime anyway. But they're playing the Packers, so that one I understand because if Aaron Rodgers gets the ball in overtime, he's probably going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
Yeah.
So I get that one. I don't know what other game they did it in, but he's ballsy. And how about all the coaches going for it on 4th and whatever this year? San Diego, I'm sorry, LA, whatever they're called, the Chargers.
Yeah.
Go for it. 4th and 1 from their own 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like, what the fuck?
Here's the problem. They don't understand. They have what a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of people refer to as a midwit. It's somebody that's not a nitwit. They're just smart enough to be fucking dangerous. They understand.
Dangerous.
They look at numbers in the aggregate and be like, 45% of the time, this is going to happen. Okay.
Weirdly enough, though, that was the only 4th down they didn't get.
Yeah, they got every other 4th down in the entire
4th and 10.
Yeah. 4th and 70, 4th and I told my son before one of the 4th downs, it was like 4th and 15 or 3rd. I said, there's going to be a defensive penalty on this play. There's no doubt there'll be a penalty because it's 3rd and forever. The only way that the people can, the lines are so fucking weird. And what happened? Illegal contact, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Yep. Yeah,
it's unreal how uncanny that happens on 3rd and long.
It's the same problem with these fucking data nerds getting involved in sports that you see in baseball as well. Like a team like Tampa Bay, for example, will do so well in the regular season, and then they've had some success in the playoffs lately. But more before they had a couple of dominant pitchers, they would just get blown the fuck up in the playoffs, right? Because they're not built for that shit.
Yeah,
and we see a lot of great regular season teams that they're built by data in the aggregate, right? By winning that way, and then they get to the playoffs. I mean, Oakland did it for years. They never had any success in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they're built for 162.
Yeah.
The other thing that drives me fucking nuts about 4th down, I've texted you guys this before, is like it's over-corrected to the point where people don't just take the fucking points enough.
Yeah.
Where they don't take the 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like sometimes.
I'm with you. It usually happens when I have the over, too. And they got a for sure 3 points. I'm like, let's fucking go for it. I'm like, you got points? Give me the points. Here's what I don't understand on these third and short and 4th and short. Now you don't have any fullbacks in the game. You put the quarterback in shotgun, and you hand it to the guy next to him, and he runs downhill, and there's no fullback. Like back when I played, man, you put a fullback back there. It was Corey Schlesinger in Detroit, Mike Allstott in Tampa Bay, Klein Saucer in Minnesota. You put a tailback behind them, and you put 250 in front of them, and you run downhill at somebody and see who can make a play. Right. And now they don't do that anymore.
Well, it's just a math problem at that point, right? You've got fucking 4 down linemen. You got 3 more guys trying to come in and plug gaps, and you have 4 or 5 offensive line defenders set and a tight end trying to.
Usually it's 5 no matter what.
Yeah. Well, 5 in the tight end if you're running that type of formation. So 6 dudes against 7 dudes, and you expect that to come out in your favor. That's not how that works.
Get a fullback in there and at least give him a chance to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I know. I miss the Coons of the world out in Green Bay.
He was the
that guy was a beast.
Yeah.
Put some respect
Coon.
on Lorenzo Neal. Come on.
Oh yeah, Lorenzo Neal.
Yeah.
We'll
He
do
should
an
be in the
all
Hall of
fullback show. Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You talk about a fucking hard head. And Lorenzo's about 5'9", by the way, 250. You're not going to get under that guy.
No.
Leverage.
Leverage.
Yeah,
man wins.
Leverage.
Fucking
leverage.
Belichick's been
yes.
able to do it without a fullback and with a 2 tight end set for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder why more people haven't done that.
There is somebody that's been rolling out a fullback this year. I can't remember who it is, but
Baltimore has Baltimore will use that D line 42. Is it Ricard?
Yeah.
When they were really good running the football, they put him at fullback and they do all that misdirection shit, and they would pound people. They get $180, $190 yards a game. Just doing that, pounding it downhill.
My guess is because there's so many college coaches coming into the NFL, and same with the fourth downs. You can go for it in college, and you don't use fullbacks in college. I think that mentality is starting to bleed over, and it's less exciting football. When you have a fullback in there and just trying to run it down somebody's throat, but it's necessary, and it's a necessary part of the game that you are able to win. It's proven. If you use it, you just stop using it. So I think it'll come back someday, just not real soon.
Someone's got to zig while everyone else zags.
Exactly.
Let's get the triple option back.
Kansas City has a fullback, Sherman.
Burton.
Burton?
I thought Sherman was their fullback.
I think I'm looking at the roster right now because they were the team I remembered being like, they've been rolling a fullback out.
Well, that's
Andy Reid's old school.
Yeah, he's old school, and also that's a
school.
pretty elegant and easy solution to having some gaps on your offensive line as well, right?
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
got a little backup there. Speaking of, go ahead.
So did you guys watch the game Sunday night? How about Max Crosby never getting chipped, double teamed, or nothing the whole fourth quarter until about 2 minutes ago, and then he was kicking the tackle's ass, and he was blasting Herbert, and they finally decided to chip him at the 2-minute warning after Herbert gets hit 15 fucking times in a row.
That's when you want to do it, though. You want to wait till the end of the game.
Yeah. I mean, let's risk getting him hurt before then. But at the end, we don't want to get him hurt at the end of the game.
Yeah, let your
before that doesn't matter.
Let your 23-year-old franchise quarterback get blown the fuck up for 3 straight quarters.
Just let him die. It's fine. It
that
builds
dude's a
character.
beast.
Well,
He's a badass.
speaking of getting blown up, so Burrow got knocked out last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this year he still led the league in taking sacks, right? Still this year. He just happened to fucking live, I guess. Yeah. And they had quite a bit of success. They were 5-7, and now they're playing the Raiders. Raiders' rush defense is pretty bad. Mixon looks like he's doing all right lately, but the Raiders have been on a pretty good fucking roll lately.
Yeah, and that's our first wild card matchup of this weekend. It's a 4:30 game on Saturday. Obviously, as always, we're brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposits. The Raiders, by kicking that field goal, Brian, played themselves out of playing Kansas City, which was probably smart in the long run, into Cincinnati. Yeah. At least that's manageable. This is plus 5.5 for the Raiders going into Cincinnati. I'm sure it will be freezing in Cincinnati. Obviously, the Raiders have been playing in a dome all year. What do you think of this matchup, and who do you got in this, Brian? We'll start with you first.
I thought the line was at 4. It went up to 5.5 already.
Yeah.
People like the Bengals, obviously. So I look at it this way. Also, I think the Raiders played on Sunday night. They're playing it on Saturday. So they got a short week, short turnaround. Played in overtime. Pretty emotional game last week versus the Chargers. So I like Cincy to start the game, but even you those factors in there for me. And Cincy rested most of their guys last week, I believe. And Burrow's the man, had a great. Jamar Chase is awesome. Mixon, like you said, is awesome. The thing I worry about with the Bengals is their defense. There are some games there where they lose 45-42 or 49-40. I just and Derek Carr's a really good quarterback, so he can get going. But I think in the end, I don't know if the Bengals cover, but I do think they win.
And I'm glad you brought up how many points they score, because I'm looking at this over-under here, and I know you like to bet those as well. It's 40.
Over, always.
It's 40. Same here. I never bet an under. Unless
so
it's
boring.
in the 30s.
Unders are boring.
I know, and I can't root for it. The over-under is 49 in this game. What would you take in that one?
I'll take the over, man. Always. Was it raining or anything? Is it snowing?
Boy, good luck. It's Ohio. I went to Ohio State, so it could change tomorrow, and I wouldn't be shocked.
I had a buddy who may wager on a game or two, and he says, I like to bet the unders because I'm winning for longer.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. So you bet the over, you're like, come on, man, we just need 10 more points or whatever we need. So I get it. But, yeah, I love betting overs, especially with teams that can score some points.
All right, so you're taking the over of 49. Are you taking the Bengals or the Raiders here at 5.5?
5.5. I still think the Bengals get them. I think they're going to cover. I'm just too many factors going against the Raiders, which is probably why they're going to win the game. But if you go, well, where's all the money? Find out where the money is and bet opposite. But I like the Bengals to cover as well.
Well, the tricky thing about Vegas is the Vegas money is obviously going to be in Vegas. So it's harder. Yeah. This is a harder team to actually set the line for because, believe it or not, they do have some great fans locally that live there that support the team. And they didn't miss a beat as far as their fan base goes, supporting them. So them flooding the casinos, betting on the Raiders, probably isn't really going to affect this line that much, simply because they fucking believe in them. Yeah. I don't personally, but we'll get to that in a second. D'Anthony, who do you got in this game? Raiders plus 5.5, over under 49.
Honestly, I think Carr's on quite a roll right now, but the Bengals have a lot more weapons, right? And they've got maybe the most important two, which are Jamar Chase and fucking Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. They look like they're playing fucking college football again. And it's honestly, a lot of people were very suspect of that pick. Like, why? Well, you need an offensive lineman. You should have taken him.
It was Joe's pick. Joe was the one who lobbied for it.
Offensive linemen aren't getting 270 receiving yards in the game and 3 touchdowns, asshole. So I think maybe he made the right decision on that. I think the Bengals win. I don't think they cover either. I think it's I think it's 3-point game probably. Two or 3-point game.
What about you, Delco?
Bengals are a cursed franchise. You'll remember Carson Palmer's, I believe, first throw in the playoff game. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, Raiders are money line. Raiders are going to win this game.
I believe it happened to Andy Dalton as well when they were like a bye team or they were like a 11-win team, but it was a divisional round.
Yeah, but he's a ginger, and you got to throw that out of your data set.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
Something weird's going to happen in Cincinnati. The Bengals, Burrow makes up for a lot of him and Chase kind of make up for – they're not that good of a team. The Raiders, I think, are more well-rounded, and Derek Carr is going to slowly move down the field piece by piece by piece. And
if they can control the tempo of the game, yeah, for sure. But the problem is the Raiders don't have a great – they're in the bottom third of the league in pass rush, and they're in the bottom third of the league – or, I'm sorry, bottom half. Bottom half of both pass rush and rush defense. So – if Mixon's able to get on a good roll, which he did they boat raced him last time, right?
Yep.
It was like 32-14 or something like that, and that's exactly what happened. Burrow didn't even do that much. Mixon rushed for like 110 yards or something like that, and they controlled the pace of that game the whole time. The Raiders have to do something to stop that shit.
Mm-hmm. And Jacobs is starting to hit his stride right now.
Yeah, he's great, by the way.
He's nursing an injury right now, and he's been limited in practice, which a lot of people are. So.
Yeah, and so the Bengals' rush defense isn't exactly fucking top of the league either. So, I mean, there's a lot going on there, but I think the Bengals have a better opportunity to control the pace of the game, and that's going to be a lot in their favor.
The Bengals are sexy, but Raiders money line.
All right, Hot Bob, who do you got?
I'm going with the Bengals, and fuck it, the Bengals cover too, 5.5. This is the year of broken sports curses, I think. The Bengals aren't going to go all the way or anything like that shit, but they'll get this off their fucking back, and they'll think that Burrow's their savior before he inevitably snaps his knee another year.
I hope not. I think he's the best player drafted in like the last 5 years, I think.
And he's fun to watch. Yeah. I enjoy the swagger. He's a blast. Look, I'm with the Bengals as well. I'm going to take this. I think they win by a touchdown. I think it's relatively close, but for the same reasons you said, Brian, I think they're exhausted after that last win. Late Sunday nights, and now they're on a short week, whereas the Bengals have rested all their starters. They'll be ready for this, and I'm also taking the over of 49 as well. And I think this is a relatively high-scoring game, unless there's some freak weather thing. So, look, check the weather. We always recommend that right before kickoff on Saturday, but it is at least the afternoon game. So, later on in the evening when it really gets cold in Ohio, you won't have to deal with that.
Well, they're not going to have the same benefit in Orchard Park, New York for the Bills, right?
No.
It's going to be fucking negative 30 degrees. Actually, it's 4 degrees at kickoff. That's the temperature, not the feels like.
Right, correct. And it's also, ironically, the spread of this game, and the over-under is 44 in this game. So it's all fours across the board here for New England at Buffalo. This is Buffalo -4. What do you think of this matchup, and who do you got, Brian?
This is hard. I hate picking against the Patriots. I hate it because you don't know what's going to happen. Belichick's the man. But I love the Bills because of my old linebacker coaches for the Bills. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna go with the Patriots getting 4 points. And I actually like the under. I hate betting unders. I hate picking them.
Yeah.
But their defenses are really good. They've seen each other twice this year already, so they know what's going on. They understand what the other team's trying to do. The weather's going to suck. So I am going to go with the close game and the under.
What about you, D'Anthony? Who do you got?
Well, the Bills, good pass rush, right? Probably will be able to neutralize whatever happens to be that Belichick throws at them. Not good at rush defense, though, right? They're in the bottom third of the league on that. That'll be interesting. The weather's going to suck, so you're not going to see a lot of throws in this game anyway, I don't think.
No.
And that, honestly, or ironically enough, it kind of plays to the strengths of both of these teams that it's going to be super cold, right? Because the Bills don't, they don't want to get into this rush versus rush thing, but if they can actually focus on it and not worry about the pass, they tend to be pretty good. In colder weather, they have much better pass or rush defense. I think, however, that the Patriots are going to win this game, so I'm going Patriots money line on this game.
Okay.
And also just all the fours involved here. So 4 in Chinese numerology means death. So just whichever team has Chinese people, they're probably going to lose.
Yeah, so there's a heavy chance of Omicron right around the second half of this game.
Well,
nailed it.
Depends on how recently Bobby Kraft visited
A handy rub and tug.
Massage parlor.
Yeah.
Look, he was fucking nervous for that game. We were at that game. That went into overtime. He deserved to get jacked off before that game.
Is he patient zero? Is that what we're...
No, we're not saying that. I think I respect Bobby Kraft and the HJ that he got.
Yeah.
He wasn't married. Let him do what he wants before he gets on the private plane.
She's dead, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
R.I.P. to her.
Yeah.
He lived a tough enough life.
Is that true?
Yeah, his wife died.
Oh, I thought you meant
died.
the woman that jacked him off.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, right.
She's calling into the show right now. No, we don't have any notion who that is. Delco, who do you got in this game?
I got the Bills in this game. I got the Bills to the Super Bowl.
Are you fucking serious?
I like that.
Yeah. No,
Really?
I think they are starting to roll now. I think Josh Allen's going to put it together. I think, Bills are going to make the Super Bowl this year.
This sounds a lot like 15 days to slow the spread.
Slow the
I've
spread.
heard this shit before, motherfucker. I've heard it before. Don't believe you.
Wow. So what about the over-under 44?
Dildo is thrown on the field?
Yep.
Over.
Over.
Yeah.
Easily. Are you taking the over or the under in this one?
I'm not touching that. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just going with the Bills.
Gotcha.
Ballsy.
Gotcha. This is a nighttime game. Hot Bob, who do you got in this one?
Pat's money line. A fucking 4-degree weather game is the type of thing. I've said this all year. Bill Belichick is so horny for this game.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick wants to. He might put out a lineup of only fullbacks.
Yeah.
Which is what he wants to do.
Didn't they win a game when Mac Jones only threw 3 passes?
Against the Bills this year.
Against the
Yeah.
Bills.
In freezing cold weather.
So,
It's the Redux. He gets to do it again.
Yeah.
just saying.
And I think only fullbacks is going to be the next sex site.
Yeah.
For gay men.
Only for fullbacks, yeah.
Only
Only
fullbacks.
fullbacks.
Yeah.
.com.
I'm with you. Look, I've got the Patriots. This is going to be a gross game. This feels like a 16-13 game. I've got the under in this as well. Josh Allen, there was a weird story that came out about him this week, how he hates the cold weather. And he's got circulation issues. This is the coldest he'll ever play in.
He should have pulled an Eli.
no, they
played in Wyoming.
This is what he is according to what the forecast.
That might be
is.
some psych out shit though, like fucking Roethlisberger's trying to pull now.
Maybe. Look, Roethlisberger needs all the help he can get. We'll get into that.
No,
in a minute.
they solved that problem. Bart Scott said that he should take Viagra before the game.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. By the way,
That's what it
he
was
said.
actually made for.
Yes.
By the way.
He said he was even offering tips to Josh Allen to how to get over this cold weather
Nitric
situation.
oxide.
Josh Allen's going to be rock hard for the game. Yeah, I'd love the Bills.
Well,
Yeah.
Connor only won fights when he had a murder boner before.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. That's the way this is the way this should be. So I'm not betting against Belichick in the first round. Not a prayer. And this is going to be one of the grossest games of all time to watch. I'm going to hate myself for watching
It's going to be
it.
fun gross, though.
No.
It's not going to be like 7 and 9 teams gross. This is going to be hilarious.
It was
It'll
like
be-
the Bama Georgia 13-12 at the end of the third quarter sitch. Like
That was an awesome game.
That's
a great game.
Like that.
It's going to be like watching a really stupid person trying to solve a problem.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That's what it's going to be like. And I like that. We have don't fucking judge me like I made it up. We have these entire television shows dedicated just to that. America's Funniest Home Videos, right? Or the one where you try
Ridiculousness.
Where ridiculous is one. The one where you're trying to fit through shapes.
Or how about just
and
Are You
fall into
Smarter
the
Than
water.
a Fifth Grader?
Yeah, there's literally a show called that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Here we are. Next up, the Sunday games. Philadelphia Eagles against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a big boy spread here. This is Tampa -9 with an over-under of 46. What do you think of this game, Bri Guy, and who do you got?
These games are hard to pick because I have a hard time passing up 9 points. I know it's Tom Brady. I know it's the playoffs, but I know they got some guys banged up there down in Tampa as well. So for me, the easy pick for me is Philly. +9. They're playing better. They're rested again. I keep talking about that. 17 games is a lot of games to play. The over/under, I don't know, man. I told you I love overs. So I know Tampa Bay's got some guys banged up on defense as well. So I'm going to take Philly. I don't think they'll win, but I'll take Philly and the over.
Yeah, so by the way, Richard Sherman is out for this. He's on IR, so he's done with the Bucs for the year. Look,
is he still playing?
He was, because
that a big deal?
That's how thin they were in their secondary that they had to they had to sign him, but he's out. So I'm with you on the over on that. We'll go to you, D'Anthony, for this. 9 points is a lot. Who do you got in this game?
I'm not giving anybody 9 points in the first round, especially a team that's lost 2 of their primary offensive weapons. There's no way. 3, I'm sorry. Fournette's out. He's on IR.
Yep. Godwin's out.
Godwin's out. Their backup
Antonio Brown is still running somewhere.
Yeah, he's hanging out with Kanye and fucking
surgery
Mayweather right now.
Yeah.
Bob Menery.
And their Ronald, whatever the fuck, he's doubtful. He's listed as doubtful right now. There's a lot of
Ronald
pressure.
Jones.
Yeah. I just don't. The Phillies line has been getting a good push lately, and that's the key to their defense. And I think it's going to be a much closer game than 9 points, frankly.
Yeah, I agree. Delco, this is a hard one to ask him. Diehard Eagles fan. He's from Delco. Fly Eagles fly. Who do you got in this?
Easy pick for him.
Number 1
Money line.
rushing offense in the league. Miles Sanders is back. Limited in practice, but he'll play. Yeah, give me the Eagles money line.
No, you're not taking You're taking the money line?
Remember before the season, I was like, I'm not really that excited this year.
You weren't?
Yeah, no, Eagles money line.
No,
You're a liar. Now you're taking Eagles money line in this. What is that? That plays off at +290. That's almost 3-1.
Yeah, give me that.
Okay. For the 1 o'clock game, now you made it interesting. Hot Bob, who do you got in this one?
The Eagles definitely aren't going to win. The Buccaneers are killers at home, but I don't have anything to add other than 9 is a lot. So maybe if you want to do a playoff teaser and take it down to 2.5, but that's fucking
9 definitely covers because Sirianni will do some bullshit where he goes for 2 and bones you.
Sure.
We'll be down 10. We'll be down 10. He'll go for 2 and it'll push.
Yeah. Do you do 6-point teasers, Brian?
Fuck yes, I love teasers.
Same.
They're fun.
Same.
So how could you ever lose a teaser? It looks so good.
It always looks so good until until Jacksonville bones you at the end of the day, and you're just like, why?
Why are you betting Jacksonville's game anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Well, look,
Colts
we took money line last week as a joke on this show, and it came through. Yeah. It was a joke between the 3 of us, and we're like, fuck it, we'll put in 100. Yeah, it was 6-1. It was great, but in this one, because I already bet before I came on the show, I took the Eagles up to +15 in a teaser card.
Love it.
I'm with you here. I think this is Tampa Bay, probably by 3 or 6 points. I'm going to take Eagles +9, but I'm definitely going to hammer this over at 46. That seems way too low, especially with a hurt defense. And I don't think the Eagles win.
I think that I disagree with that. I think the Buccaneers' best shot at controlling this game is to grind it down to a fucking standstill. And
if they can,
they don't have any more running backs.
If they're able. Well, I mean, look, they've still got Leonard, or what's his name, Le'Veon Bell now, right?
Well, they just signed him. Yeah, so he's
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's there.
We'll see. You never know. I mean, look, if
not
it's
the same guy.
no, he's definitely not. But Tom Brady is a pretty smart guy. He knows how to use 3 to 5 yard passes as a run game.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. But
Gronkowski is still there too.
Yeah.
Gronk is still there, but I think it's I think the Eagles cover this 9 points, and I'm definitely going to hammer the over on this.
Is Minshew starting or is it Jalen Hurts?
I wish. I fucking.
I love Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
I love him.
Every time he starts, it's like a huge rail of cocaine. I'm ready to go. I'll watch the entire game. I bet on him last week, which was a mistake.
So
don't bet on him. Just watch the game.
I teased him last week, by the way. I was like, oh, there's no way the Cowboys aren't going to play everybody. And it was the reverse. Philly didn't play anybody, and the fucking Cowboys throttled them.
That was the only team I lost on that teaser. The same exact thing happened, and it was they lost by 25. I had teased it up to
100.
like
Terrible.
Oh God, it was awful. Yeah. Next game up. This is, by the way, we have a ticketing company, drinkinbrostickets.com. Our partner in that said these prices are like Super Bowl prices. He was not lying. Lowers for this Cowboys game coming up against San Francisco are $650. Cowboys fans are out of their fucking minds that they would pay this type of money to go see.
They're also out of their minds if they think
first round game.
They're out of their minds if they think they're going to win this game.
Well,
I think people are spending money on this because they know it's the only one that's going to happen.
Look, the spread is 3 here. The over-under's 51. Brian, who do you got in the San Francisco 49ers Dallas Cowboys game?
Went down to 3? You guys must watch this shit like up to date.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was 4. So I'm a Cowboys fan. Let me tell you that. I love Dak. I'm a big fan of everything they do, especially our defense right now. But Buccaneers are good. They're rolling, man. They just find a way to win. Something about the NFC West. I don't like betting their games because you don't know who's going to show up, especially when they play each other. Jimmy G's healthy. I like. Fuck, man. I want the Cowboys to win so bad. I'm picking the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. They're going to win.
Okay.
That's
spoken like a Cowboys fan. You realize that, right?
You're exactly right.
There was a lot of desperation and hope in that answer.
Stammering and desperation. And then a really bad call.
If you stand up and you're wearing jean shorts, we'll know you're a real Cowboys fan.
My jorts? Yeah. No, I'm not wearing jorts today. Not today.
It's a golf day. You can't wear jorts on the course, man.
No jorts.
D'Anthony, who do you got in this one? This is Cowboys -3.
Yeah, you pointed it out. The 49ers have the team composition is built such that they know. Not only do they know how to win when shit's tough, but that's what they expect to have to go through. And the Cowboys have an explosive offense, and if it doesn't work, they fail every single time. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. They don't win these. They don't chisel a game. They don't chisel a game down into the teens and win like that. They can't. Even though their defense is good, but the 49ers defense is top 3 and top 5 respectively in rush and pass defense. You know what I mean? The Cowboys defense is really good. The 49ers defense is elite, and that's a big difference. And they all know, Jimmy G included, that they have to score probably only about 22 points to win this game.
Yep.
Bullshit. Come on.
We'll see.
I gotta go. At the end here, when you guys make your picks, I gotta say something too.
Fire away now. Go ahead. You can bury him right now.
I don't want to fuck your picks up, so go ahead.
No, it's fine. We're a podcast. This is what happens, Brian. You say whatever the fuck you want. This isn't China.
Right, so when was Shanahan in Atlanta, the OC? What year did they lose the Super Bowl? Was that
2016? I was there. I'm wearing a Falcons shirt as we speak.
Yeah, I had Atlanta in that game big time. I was like, the Falcons are going to win this game. So they're up, 21, 24, something like that?
28-3. Not that anybody remembers.
I'm going to say we because I was on the Falcons betting team that game. And I was like, we're up by, 8 with the ball inside field goal range. Is that right? Something like that?
Yep.
With 3.5 minutes to go. And Shanahan was the OC for the Falcons, right? Mm-hmm. So if I'm the OC, I'm not a football guy. But if I'm the OC, I'm going to try and run the ball three straight times and let my kicker make a 45-yard field goal. Hopefully we go up by 11, 2-score game with under 3 minutes. We're probably going to win the game. The fuck does he do? Throws the football.
Yeah, and Ryan, it was he took a sack and it was knocked him out of field goal range. No,
yeah, don't blame Matt. It should have never been a fucking pass anyway. It should have been a run.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Fast forward. Kansas City Chiefs playing the Niners in the Super Bowl. Was that 2 years ago? Whatever.
Yep.
Niners big lead, and I had the Chiefs this game, so it worked out good for me. But Niners got a good lead in the fourth quarter. Was it 14, 10 points, something like that?
Yep.
They've been running the ball to get the lead. They ran the ball. What do? They trick them. They start throwing the football. 3 and out, lose the game. That's it.
Yeah.
Not only did they lose that game, that Chiefs game you were talking about, but if memory serves me correct, because we bet the house on that.
Yeah.
I believe the Chiefs were -7.5 or 8. Not only were they down by 10, but they still covered the spread at the end.
They did that three games in a row.
At the end.
Yeah.
They did it 3 games in a row. They were down by 21 to Houston.
Yeah.
Before they
No, they're down 24-0. Yeah.
Oh,
24-0, yeah, at the half.
I remember the live bet on that game was for the Chiefs to win that game.
Can you imagine?
It was like plus 2,500.
Was it really?
For them to win, yes, 2,500 for them to win that game when they were down 24-0.
And you bet that? I mean, I would have.
Fuck no. I was like, they're going to get crushed.
We were sitting here the
Same.
whole time watching that game, like they're still going to win. After the Houston one, the next two where they were down big both times, like even to the 49ers, when they went down to the 49ers, I was like, they're still going to win this game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt. I had no doubt at any point. It was like watching the Warriors back in the day.
I'm with you.
It's still the same. It's whether or not they want to show up.
You need to hurt them for them to get an erection and really get going. You know what I mean? Like they need the pain.
Also, Shinny's not blowing wild card games. These are Super Bowls.
Just Super Bowls. You're right. My bad.
He only blows Super Bowls.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of which, who do you got, Delco? You going with Shanahan in this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to sound like a hater, but I trust
he
Shanahan
likes-
much more than
he
I
likes
do Mike.
Philly.
Yeah.
He likes Philly. Fuck, that's a no-brainer for him.
Yeah, but Mike McCarthy,
Philly fan.
as
Likes the
much
Uggles.
as we've just talked about Shanahan, Mike McCarthy's made quite a few suspect calls just this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a recency bias. We'll see how the pressure mounts on him. But
My favorite is that he convinced everybody in the media that he went into a log cabin when he was fired from Green Bay, and he became a deep analytics guy.
Yeah.
That was not the case. No.
He had that beard. He's got everything. He came out of it looking the part, though.
Yeah, and Andy Reid doesn't eat at Waffle House. I don't believe either one of those things. Fuck out of here.
So you're taking the 49ers.
Yes, 49ers money line.
Are you taking the over-under of 51?
He doesn't care about over.
I would say under.
Really?
Yeah.
Cowboys just hung 51 alone against
Well,
the
yeah,
Eagles.
if you think 49ers are going to win, it's going to be an under.
Yeah, 24-21.
25-26 game. That's a push on that. Yeah.
24-21.
Okay. What about you, Hubbub?
Dallas wins and covers. The 49ers
Hell
are
yeah.
so fucking overrated by everyone. It's crazy to me. So what? They went 4-1 in their last 5 games. Their one loss was to the Titans, who were the number 1 seed in the AFC, and then they beat the Rams in what was basically a home game for them. Matt Stafford was like, yeah, it was hard for us to hear because there are no Rams fans in Los Angeles.
Still beat them.
Or maybe on Earth, for that matter.
Still beat them.
No, I get that. So they beat one playoff team in their last 5 games.
But it's the playoff team that most closely resembles the Cowboys with a pretty elite defense, right? Or approaching elite defense. I guess the Rams probably better than the Cowboys at this point, right?
Also, we're giving Diggs way too much credit because he leads the league in interceptions, right? But he also leads the
And
league in
yards
yards
given up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He gets burnt every
Oh,
game.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got Micah Parsons.
I was gonna
the
say,
defensive
so
player of the
Parsons-
year. Micah
Yeah.
Parsons.
Defensive player of the
DeMarcus
year.
Lawrence
I
is
know.
back.
Yeah,
the
D-Law is
best,
great.
the best player, the best offensive weapon that the Niners have is Deebo Samuel because he can do fucking anything. He
Yeah.
can rush, he can pass. Micah Parsons neutralizes the rushing aspect of
Yes.
Deebo Samuel
Yep.
completely. That is gone from their game in terms of like the way that Cowboys defense stacks up. I like the Cowboys here. It's going to be a wild ass thing, and I just don't trust the Niners. They're mediocre to me. I don't trust Garoppolo. Fuck this team.
Same.
Their defense is elite.
Bose is dope and stuff.
Elite?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who's elite? San
San Francisco, yeah.
What
They're
makes them elite? Tell me what makes them elite.
stopping the pass and the rush. Well, I mean, like they're
They're
third
doing
in
every
pass
week,
defense,
every week.
and well, no, they are inconsistent from time to time. Yeah.
What game did I watch? I want to say Arizona came there with a backup quarterback, and they ran the ball and passed the ball against them.
Yeah,
It was
they
weird.
scored like 36 points. against them, I
Whoa,
think,
let's
didn't they?
That's so
not
weird.
undersell Colt McCoy, okay?
I love Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy. I'm just saying it's really weird if you're elite and a fucking backup quarterback comes in and does that to you.
Right.
What's going on there?
Well, I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs lose to shitty teams a lot too, but we know
You're
exactly
right.
how.
I'm just
talented that
trying. I'm
team
just
is.
trying to play devil's advocate. That's all. Don't get hot. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
no,
It's true
fine.
though. It's true because that's a leadership thing. When you allow teams that you should beat or should handle in a very specific way to beat you at your best thing, that is a leadership
Broncos
problem.
at the Cowboys.
yeah.
Thanksgiving fucking day. That drove me crazy.
It's
bad.
just bad leadership.
Oh.
If you're a fucking great defensive team and you get your ass handed to you by a bad offensive team, that is leadership. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Whether it's the coaches or the top players, that's something happened there. And let's be real, the 49ers have had those issues before.
Yeah, and look, I'll break this tie because it's 2-2 here so far. I'm all in on the Cowboys in this game. I'm going to buy a half a point. I always do when it's at 3 just to be cautious about it. But I don't look, if the 49ers didn't have that miracle comeback, they're not even in the fucking playoffs. I don't know who their running back is. They're giving the ball to Deebo Samuel all the time.
Mitchell.
It's Mitchell
Elijah
now.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
Mitchell's good.
He's good. But they're down, what is he, second string, third string at this point? Because they're putting Deebo Samuel in so many different positions, who else are they really throwing to? I don't like Jimmy
Kittle.
G at all.
It's just Kittle.
I'm not a big fan of
George.
Jimmy
Which
G.
again, if there's one person who could cover Kittle, At the linebacker position, it's Micah Parsons.
Yeah, but he can't do both.
He can't do both.
He can't do both.
And both, I would say, I won't say
actually,
this about.
check it out. What if he can?
He might be able to. That dude's a badass.
Yeah, he is crazy. But Kittle, unlike a lot of the other great pass catching tight ends, is also an elite blocker as well.
Sure.
Right?
Yes, he is.
So
Yep,
if you're Dallas, how do you fucking decide who Micah Parsons is dealing with?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which one of those guys do you think is a bigger threat? Right now, it's been Deebo Samuel, but that can change really quick with this guy. Kittle led the league in receiving yards for tight ends, the last 3 years in a row?
Yeah, him and Kelsey have been.
Him and Kelsey
the
and onesie twosies.
Yeah.
No, but I'm going Cowboys here. I'm all in on this, and if you can afford to go to the game, congratulations.
Yeah.
God, man. Yeah. Even I shouldn't tell this story, but I will. Even Bosa's dad was looking for a ticket, and so he's actually sitting with Benny at the game in a suite.
Good.
So yeah, everybody and their mother's trying to get in for this game. Apparently, it was the 49ers that were the biggest draw on this. Cowboys fans were already hyped. Yeah. 49ers fans drove up the number on this just because it was the two classic teams, and the 49ers are back in there. Same with this next game. People are stoked that the Steelers got in. This is a monstrous spread. Pittsburgh at Kansas City. This is Kansas City minus 12 with an over-under of 46.
No fucking way.
What do you do, Brian, with a spread of minus 12 in the playoffs in the NFL?
That's a lot of points. Like I said earlier, give me 9 points all day long. I was talking about the Eagles, but in this game, give me the fucking Chiefs. The Chiefs are good. They just beat the shit out of the Steelers bad. I had the Steelers in that game too, by the way. I figured they're getting 10. There's no way they're losing by 10. They were down by 30-something in the third quarter. So this game, I like, and I know it's not the same game, but I'm going to go with the Chiefs at home. Playoff time, Mahomes going to show up like he always does. Their defense is playing better. The Steelers, to me, do not look good. Their offense is not great. They don't do anything well. They got T.J. Watt on defense, who's a monster. But other than that, I'm a big Mahomes fan in this game.
Are you touching the over-under of 46?
Nope, because it could be 35-0.
Yeah.
No shit. That's absolutely true. The Steelers currently dead last in rush defense in the NFL.
With T.J. Watt?
That gets overlooked a lot. Well, he's
crazy.
got 22 and a half sacks. Not a lot of
Yeah.
solo tackles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's this one it looks weird. It's like, what the fuck? The Steelers going to score that many, or is Kansas City actually going to score that much? The over under is 46.
Yeah.
12 and a half at 46. That's but no matter, even though the Steelers have a pretty good pass rush. I mean, they have a great one because of TJ, but overall it's a pretty good pass rush. You can only do that for so long, right? If you expose a defense enough, it doesn't matter how great they are; they will eventually fail. It's just the law of averages, right? And they're going to get exposed quite often by the Chiefs.
So you're taking the Chiefs minus 12?
Yeah, because the Steelers can't move the ball on offense. Yeah. They're going to be 3 or 5 or 3 or 6 and out a bunch of times. They'll probably have like 7 or 8 first downs in the entire game. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be giving the ball up a lot, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're going to score points.
This is a game where I'm going to throw it to Delco here, but it's plus 455 for the money line on the Steelers.
Oh,
I just saw you looking it up on your phone. Like, is there any shot that Big Ben?
Ben's last ride.
It's his last ride. Is there any shot that you're taking the money line in this on the Steelers? Yes, it is.
That's like looking at a piece of food on the ground. And you're like, it's not that much mold.
Yeah. What are you doing here in this game, Delco?
I think the defense keeps them in it. I think T.J. Watt is going to be a menace. Chiefs win, but they don't cover 12.
Okay.
12?
That's a lot of points.
I'm going to take the 12.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Bob, who do you got?
That's what I said 3 weeks ago.
I know.
So I kind of think that Ben Roethlisberger will end up dying on the toilet one day.
Like Elvis?
Yeah, he just looks like someone who's going to die on the toilet.
He looks like a man in rapid decline.
Yeah. And I think his career is going to die on the toilet, and they're going to get blown the fuck out. Like, they're going to get murdered. It's not – Ben Roethlisberger's not going to have a happy ending.
46 and minus 12 and a half. That's a 29 –
12. It's minus 12.
Minus 12. Yeah. It went down to 12?
Yeah.
So it's like a 29 16 game or 28 15 game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It's I think the under might be the best bet here, to be honest. Because the Steelers can't score any points. Come on, man.
This feels like feels like a 35-7 game.
Yeah, with a ton of turnovers on the part of the Steelers. Like this feels
Which
like
is
a game
good for overs.
Yeah,
this feels like a game where Tyrann Mathieu does some wild shit, or like I mean. They've got some good ball hawks.
Sorensen's going to have a big game.
I love that dude. He's my favorite. He's my favorite guy.
I like him too.
Yeah.
You know who's a badass on defense is Nick Bolton, their rookie linebacker.
MIZ, let's fucking go.
Don't start that
watch
bullshit.
that dude football. He is a bad dude.
Yeah, I love Nick Bolton.
Sorensen's awesome.
He's good.
With the KC Chiefs, I'm going to take this in a 6-point teaser parlay.
Ooh,
I'm going to take this down to 6, and I'm going to take the over/under down to 40 and take that. I think this is probably a 45-7 game. Chiefs. I will also take this straight up at -12. I think the Chiefs destroy them. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's lucky to be alive. And the way he's throwing the ball, even going against that Ravens team last week, we were rooting for him of just like, all right, cool, man, you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just get one last piece of magic. But it took a miracle for him to get there. I don't see him scoring more than 14 points tops this week. For the Steelers, this is going to be a bloodbath. And I'm looking forward to it. Dan, you're going to lose all your money this week, Delco.
Yeah,
so
sure. You'll
It's all the dogs.
That's
Which
cool.
That's what he
the
does.
dogs this season. This season. Well, you know what? You've done great this season.
Yeah,
Then.
no
We'll get it back.
Great.
We'll get it back with the Sony Open this weekend.
Oh, who you got?
He bets on golf all the time. One of the
love
best
it.
in the
Who you got?
business, by the way.
I'm currently on Patton Kazire.
We should text.
Yeah,
How did you
yeah.
hire?
Yeah,
Okay.
he shot 7 under today, so he's in second.
Who's in first?
Right now, Jim Furyk.
Well, they're still on the course, right? They're still playing.
Yeah. But Jim Furyk's 8 under.
Anyway,
I like how you looked
damn.
out the window to see if they were there. You
No,
just looked
I
out
was
the
like,
window. We're like,
looking at the
are they
daylight.
there?
3 hours behind there, so I'm good.
Last game. This is a Monday night game. This is the one that all the wives hate. They have moved the NFL playoffs to a Monday night. Every wife in America hates Roger Goodell. What they don't know is so do most of us dudes.
Yep.
But it's a blast for us because it gives us junkies one last game to bet on the Monday night game in case we're down on the weekend games. This is Arizona at the Rams. This is Rams -4. Over-under is 49.5, which seems low to me in this game. Brian, who do you got?
NFC West is so hard to bet.
I know.
I've stayed away from their games the last few weeks because I don't trust. The dogs always cover, or they shouldn't, but they do. And you said the Cardinals are dogs in this game?
Yeah, they're getting 4 points.
I'm going with the Rams. I like the Rams at home. I watch the Cardinals every week here, living in Arizona. I just don't trust them. You don't know what you're going to get with them. They say Watt may be back. I don't think that really matters to their defense, honestly. I don't trust them. They do some stupid shit on offense sometimes. It's really mind-blowing. So I like McVay. I like what they've been doing over there. So I'm going to go with them. I like the under, actually.
Oh, really? Why is that?
49.5.
Yeah.
For some reason, the playoffs seem to go a little lower sometimes. I don't know why. I think teams get conservative. That they'll punt more. Usually all season long they go for it on 4th down when they shouldn't. And I think in the playoffs that may change a little bit because the possessions are a lot more important in the playoffs. So a punt's may not give the other team points right away if you don't get it.
Well, the good thing is, and I know the Rams bitched about them not having home field, even though they were home field last week. The Cardinals don't have the type of fan base that travels to LA.
No.
So you're fine in that, and I'm sure the Rams fans will outnumber the Cardinals fans in this one. But I want to point out Watt is playing. DeAndre Hopkins is out for the Cardinals, who is obviously their all-world receiver in that one.
Yeah.
D'Anthony, who do you got in this one?
Honestly, I guess it depends on what kind of Rams composition we see, right? Like how many touches are Sony Michel and Cam Akers going to get? Cam's just back. Mm-hmm. They used him lightly against the 49ers, which is like I put less weight on that game because of that, to be honest, because it seemed like the Rams, they lost the game, the 49ers won. There's no question about that, but I feel like
they took their foot off the gas in the second half, and I'm with you.
They 100% did. So Von Miller had a big play, and late in the second half as well. It seems like he's kind of worked his way into a groove with that defense. And when you have 3 of the best, I know Von Miller's not Von Miller from 5 years ago, but he's still fucking good, right? He's really good. And when you've got one of the best players at each position on the defense, on the line, in the fucking middle, and then out wide, you've got a really good chance against any team Now, Kyler Murray's a wild card because you never know. I don't know if anybody will ever be able to come up with a metric to figure out how you have to play against a little Yoda motherfucker like that. It's just bouncing around. You can't see him over your own line and stuff like that. I don't know if there's a metric out there for that. But I do know this is Stafford's best chance in his entire career to prove exactly what the fuck he's about. I know that.
Yeah.
It's been, well, he's just on Detroit for a long time. Well, you're not on Detroit anymore. You've got one of the top receivers in history now, right? At least for a single season. And you've got Odell Beckham Jr. as well. And then you have Sony Michel, who's got quite a bit of championship experience, and Cam Akers, who's coming back with fresh legs. The Rams should win this game. There's no question about that.
Okay, what about you, Delco?
Faded myself in the national championship. Obviously, I picked Georgia to win the national championship at the beginning of the year. Took Alabama for the game, so I was right no matter what. I'm tired of fading myself. I took the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
This is fighting Dan talking.
Yeah.
This is Dan started learning fighting, and now he's...
Now, I'm just going to stick to my guns. The Rams win this game. The Rams get to the Super Bowl. Rams beat the Bills in the
Well,
Super Bowl.
it's -4, though, but I think the Rams win this game.
Rams win the game by a touchdown.
I think they win by a touchdown.
Oh,
Okay. Hot Bob, who do you got? You also picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl along with your cohort here earlier on in the preseason.
I picked Baylor to win the national championship in basketball last year. I picked Georgia to win the national championship in football this year. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl.
And the Braves.
Damn.
We picked the Braves and Baylor to win.
Yeah.
holy
Series.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so I'm fucking sticking with my guns. Rams win this game. The Rams definitely win this game by a touchdown. I think what you're going to have is a situation where, like, you could get a push, but the Cardinals obviously aren't going to kick a field goal in the final minute.
No, but
right?
I am a little bit concerned about a backdoor cover, though, honestly. I'm going to be watching
for
Alex
sure.
Monaco out there in San Diego to see if he blows his fucking brains
Right.
out.
I mean, be worried. If the Rams are up 10 with 3 minutes left, you're
God damn it. dude.
You're
be,
fucked.
be shitting your pants for sure. But I think the Rams win and cover. I think the Rams, I'm staying with them for the Super Bowl pick. Fuck it.
I mean, Stafford has to get his shit together, but
This is going to be as locked in, or at least like attempted to be locked in, as McVay and Stafford will ever be in their lives.
Yep.
For me personally, God damn it, dude. The Rams have burned me this year betting on them. I am going to go with the Rams. I'm going to buy a point and take it to 3 because there's been a ton of backdoor covers against the Rams
Yeah, no
this year.
shit.
And
It's because of the composition of the team. They run the same style. Well, I mean, with a little bit more explosivity, but they run the same kind of. They're trying to run the same style that Belichick ran all those years with 2 running backs, and you get a lead and you fucking just start chipping away.
I hate it.
Eating clock.
I can't
Well, when
stand
your
it.
defense is that great, why the fuck would you not do that? You know what I mean? That makes sense.
But I am going to take the over in this one simply because Arizona should be down and Kyler Murray is going to fire away. I don't know what they have at running back that's going to help them compete against the Rams. And with Hopkins out, you're going to have to gun the ball, or he's going to have to run the ball a lot. So,
But that's not necessarily a negative for them either.
no, it's not. And for that reason, I'm still going to take the over in this game, and I'm going to take the Rams at 3. And then I'm also going to put this in a parlay and take this game down to +2 for the Rams, because I think that the Rams do win this game. But it's a toss-up of whether it's a touchdown or a field goal to me.
Who's the higher seed, the Bucks or the Cowboys?
The Buccaneers.
Bucks are the 2 seed? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Rams probably get a road game at Tampa next week if they win this?
no home game in Philly, or against Philly.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way Philly's gonna do this. Last thoughts here before we get out of here, Brian. Out of the coaching positions that are open out in the NFL, what's the best job out there if you're trying to rate these?
Oh, man.
And you can keep in mind the Texans just fired their coach
Yeah.
a few hours ago.
Yeah, I
Just-
saw that.
Explain why it's not the Texans.
It's not the Texans. I don't even know who needs. So the Bears, obviously, the Texans, Miami,
Jacksonville.
not Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's got it there. They're looking for a new coach. Urban's gone.
I think Jacksonville's
knew
still a
that.
good job.
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
Because they usually rebound after a losing season. I'm trying to think what jobs are open.
I still trust Lawrence, though. I think Lawrence.
Well, they're going to get.
New York's open.
New York is open
yeah,
now.
New York
Joe
is
Judge
open.
is out.
Both New Yorks are
Yeah,
open, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
no.
The
Jets and Fire- oh, okay.
Just
no,
hired
no. They're not firing that guy.
Sorry.
Salah's the man. I love that dude. Gosh, the best job to take. Give me another option.
Vikings are out there as
Yeah,
well.
Vikings.
I guess
Zimmer got fired.
Yep.
Technically, the
Kirk-
Raiders.
Yeah, they say the Raiders have an interim only.
Yeah, is Kirk coming back for the Vikings? He's still there, right?
No, he's last year of the contract. They're trying to decide what to do. So he got a guaranteed. You got a guaranteed deal, and look, his numbers are disgusting.
No franchise.
They're great. They just don't win.
I know.
I would take. So for me, it's a quarterback-driven league, and all the rules are for the offense. So I would go with the team with the most established quarterback, which is Kirk Cousins. If I'm leaving out Derek Carr right now, I like Derek Carr a lot.
Yeah, but their interim has the inside
retain.
track on that. Yeah,
I think they retain him as the coach. He's done a good job.
Yep.
So I would go with the Vikings. They got good personnel on defense. They're a little older right now, but just quarterback wise, Kirk Cousins gets it done.
A little.
And they got Dalvin.
They got Dalvin Cook, Adam
Justin
Thielen,
Jefferson.
and Justin Jefferson.
They got a good core there.
Man.
Yeah. For me, it's still the Bears, man. It's not. This isn't a homer pick because you're on the show either. But that is a storied franchise where if you lead them to a championship, you are a legend forever, and that's a tough job.
They're in full Chicago Cubs mode at this point. They're storied only.
Yeah,
like they don't.
Yeah.
We haven't done much in a while.
It's been a long time.
They need to make a move that, look, getting Khalil Mack was a huge move. They need to do the same thing on offense. They need to convince fucking Aaron Rodgers to come not own them, but, be them.
Yeah. They need to give 5 first-round picks to Green Bay and get Aaron to come there.
Yeah. And they'd probably win back-to-back chips.
They're going to be wherever Aaron goes, they're instant contenders no matter who it is.
Okay. And since we are starting the playoffs here, we'll go a quick round the table here of Super Bowl teams. I'll start it off. I've still got Chiefs versus Packers. Hot Bob, who do you got?
Chiefs, Rams, and it's going to piss me off because I'm from St. Louis, and that was like my dream Super Bowl to just watch and give all my friends from KC shit who I knew at Mizzou. So that'll piss me off, and I'll be happy either way who wins, but stick with my Rams.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Rams, Bills. So both teams will probably lose this weekend.
D'Anthony?
I'm going with a 2019 rematch, Rams Patriots.
Oh,
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're going to see one of these games from Mahomes where there's a bunch of interceptions, or I think they're going to have a turnover problem in one of these games. I don't know why I just feel it. I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks.
And it's against Big Ben.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
If they get knocked out in the first round, that's not good.
That would be awful at a minus 12.
That'd be bad
Exactly.
for the NFL, too.
Urlacher, who do you got?
I love Green Bay in the NFC. In the AFC, this is a hard. My heart bet wants to go Buffalo, but my brain says take Kansas City. I think it's Green Bay and Kansas City Super Bowl.
Yep, I agree.
That'd be great for the league too.
Super
Bowl
Bowl
two
one.
teams with massive,
old school.
massive fan
Rodgers
bases,
versus Mahomes.
2 of the oldest teams, massive, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game.
Yep,
you can't get any better than that shit.
Let me ask you guys a question real fast. Who's the MVP in y'all's mind right now?
It's 100% not Tom Brady.
I'm glad you brought that up. We went through the numbers last week, and I was shocked to see that Brady had 1,000 more yards and everything else, but Aaron Rodgers was out 4 or 5 games this year.
The ratio.
No, he missed a game and a half.
He missed a game and a half. The ratio.
Is that all he missed?
Look at the touchdown to interception ratio. This fucking guy is stupid. The numbers for his career, he's 5 or 7 to 1 for his career touchdown to intercept, maybe even worse than that. One year he was 10 to 1 touchdown to picks. It's just stupid to me. It's not even close to me. It's Aaron Rodgers, and the only reason if he doesn't win is because that bullshit media doesn't like him because he's unvaxxed. Yep. He is the most. It's like you said. Give it to the most valuable vaccinated player, then, if that's what you're going to fucking do. But he is not even close to the MVP of the NFL. Not even close to me.
To me, because I said Rodgers, and once we went through the numbers, Tom Brady's numbers were a lot better, and he was dealing with less, in my opinion.
What do you mean by better?
Dealing with what do you mean dealing with less?
Dealing with less, as far as I think the Packers defense is really fucking good. And Tampa Bay's is all over the goddamn map. I mean, they're just plugging and playing people. And
who does Aaron throw the football to?
Devontae Adams is the greatest receiver in the NFL.
Doesn't have Mike
though.
Evans, doesn't have Godwin, doesn't have Antonio Brown, doesn't have Gronkowski, doesn't have any of that shit.
But with the injuries of Evans being out, AB being in and out, all this other shit, like the distractions, to me, without Tom Brady, I don't know, because we're going most valuable player. I don't even know if the Bucs are a playoff team without Tom Brady.
Yeah, but for an absolute certainty that the Green Bay Packers are not a playoff team without Aaron Rodgers.
They're 5-11
Yeah,
and 5-12.
not
without
even
him. They're
close.
shit.
Both
They're
teams
shit.
are dog shit without those quarterbacks.
Yeah, for sure.
I would
Yes.
say.
Packers are more worse.
Is it weird that I think Homeboy looked all right? Is that weird? The backup?
Love?
Yeah.
He looked good. You know, that game he started, he looked really good too. They scored 7 points.
Yeah, but
And they backdoor covered.
They backdoor
The line
covered.
was 7.5.
Aaron Rodgers
Yeah,
hasn't
13-6,
thrown
7.
double-digit interceptions since 2010.
I think this year he was what, 40-4?
37-4.
Is that what it was?
48-5.
And he threw 2 in the
last
first
year.
game of the year.
Oh, he ran for 3 touchdowns
Yeah,
as well.
40
so it was
45 and
It's not
6
close.
in 2011.
So-
It's 4.
not close.
He throws 4.88 touchdowns per interception over the course of his entire career.
No.
And this
Yeah.
year was no different. He is far and away the MVP of this league.
Kind of hard for me to argue for Jonathan Taylor at this point.
Yeah, that was his guy was Jonathan Taylor, by the way. Delco's was Jonathan Taylor.
Great season. Great
Yeah.
regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't finish. I would say Joe Burrow. Let's give it to Joe Burrow.
He's close.
Shake it up.
If you want to really emphasize the V, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
he
there's
should
probably
be
top
down
5,
ballot
yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Top
He
5
would,
for
if
sure.
this was the Heisman, he would get a fucking invite.
He'd get a nice little invite to New York.
He's not winning.
He'd get a nice invite to New York. Brian, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah,
Look
always
forward
a pleasure.
to getting your picks throughout the playoffs. Please come back. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, I'm Ross Patterson. And thank you, Mr. Urlacher. This is Drinkin'
you.
Bros Sports Wild Card Picks. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your deposits. Good night, everyone.